President Cyril Ramaphosa has publicly addressed South Africa's continuous financial difficulties in a direct speech that has drawn national attention, highlighting the nation's limited budgetary ability to handle its escalating economic problems. His comments coincide with the nation's struggles with sluggish economic development, high unemployment, and growing need for better public services like healthcare and education. Please kindly hit on the subscribe button. Thanks. At the moment, we have limited revenue limits, Ramaphosa said in a speech on Friday. Our current income is insufficient to support all of our goals and priorities. An important moment of openness in a nation experiencing growing financial and socioeconomic challenges is the president's open acknowledgement. The public sector in South Africa is faced with the enormous challenge of distributing dwindling resources to satisfy the needs of a populace beset by unemployment, poverty, and infrastructural deficiencies. Several obstacles have hindered the government's attempts to stimulate economic development in recent years, notably the COVID-19 epidemic, which made financial difficulties worse and resulted in a sharp decline in tax income. Ramaphosa's candor has provoked a range of responses from different political groups. His candor in facing South Africa's economic realities and admitting the difficult choices his administration must make has been praised by some. Others, on the other hand, have voiced their frustration, wondering if the government has a clear plan to weather the financial storm or if it is just a pessimistic diagnosis without a recovery plan. Analysts and economists have stressed that South Africa's financial problems are not new, but have become worse over time. The nation is now in a precarious situation due to slow economic development, growing national debt, and inadequate resource management. The economy was severely damaged by the epidemic, which exacerbated already precarious financial circumstances and jeopardized the nation's economic future. Although Ramaphosa's administration has previously come under fire for failing to provide real answers, his recognition of the nation's problems has rekindled demands for significant changes, especially in the areas of tax collection, government expenditure, and investment in vital industries. Some experts believe that a stronger emphasis on reducing corruption, which is frequently viewed as a major obstacle to economic advancement, could free up much-needed funds. Discussions over what the government of South Africa should do to help the nation escape its financial problems have been rekindled by the president's frank comments. There are growing demands for audacious and creative ways to boost growth as a result of growing budgetary difficulties. Experts identify a number of crucial steps that may lessen the financial strain, including increasing tax collection, cutting down on unnecessary government spending, and encouraging both domestic and international investment to boost the economy. Restoring fiscal health is also seen by many as requiring reforming state-owned businesses and cutting inefficiencies in public services. Furthermore, many people still rank fighting corruption as their top priority because they feel that corruption and poor management in state institutions have made South Africa's financial problems worse. Ramaphosa's administration has a difficult time enacting structural changes in spite of these reform demands. In order for South Africa's economy to recover, political commentators predict that enacting these changes would need not just a strong political will and accountability, but also a focus on public-private partnerships. Ramaphosa's comments are disturbing and a reality check for the typical South African. Many residents are already having difficulty making ends meet due to high unemployment rates, stagnating incomes, and growing living expenses. Concerns that economic hardship may continue or perhaps worsen in the near future have increased as a result of the president's recognition of the government's budgetary constraints. The government's inability to solve long-standing problems, especially the high rates of poverty and inequality that still afflict the country, has angered many South Africans. Calls for greater transparency in government spending and more effective oversight of public funds have gained traction, with opposition parties and civil society groups urging Ramaphosa's administration to take more decisive action to address corruption and mismanagement. Ramaphosa's acknowledgement of the nation's fiscal limitations has sparked discussions on the need for a collective national effort to overcome South Africa's challenges. By tackling the country's financial realities head-on, the president is in some, although the economic picture remains unclear, President Ramaphosa's forthright revelation of South Africa's financial woes gives.